Well, boys and girls, let's have a conversation. I say girls because there was actually a young lady followed the channel the other day, and we'll say thank you for that. Thank you for all of you who have followed. If you don't mind, I'm going to smoke a cigar. If you do mind, I'm going to smoke a cigar. If you do mind, just go somewhere else. I love a good cigar, and it's Saturday morning. It's February, and yeah, I say all a lot. February 24th, it's Saturday morning, and I am very frustrated. If you saw the last video, it was a short, so you may need to go look at the tabs up there where it says, the channel tabs where it says videos and then shorts, you know. Let me get this thing lit for me to talk. If you want to know what I'm smoking, it's kind of a staple for me. It's not I wouldn't call it I smoke it all the time at all. I smoke a lot of different things, but this is a Southern Draw, Manzanita. I really like Southern Draw. I buy a lot of Southern Draw. Anyway, let's get this thing going here. It's 9:35 in the morning on Saturday, and I got the heat going. We're in eastern North Carolina, so it's not so bad. It's like 50 degrees outside. The sun's out. It's just absolutely gorgeous outside, actually. And I'm going to get to the point of oh, shut up, Siri. Siri, Siri will hear me talking, and I won't say the word Siri or anything like that, man. But the phone does it, but the Apple Watch is terrible for it. It'll just out of nowhere. I was doing a public speaking event here about 4 months ago in front of 500 people. And the thing just started blabbing at the mouth at me. I didn't get that, whatever. Anyway, we'd be fine if we could get rid of some of this mess, but I use it all the time. I'm pretty much addicted to it. Anyway, back to the point, the turntable, previous video, the shorts video rather, with the good grief. I've got to answer that. Well, a significant portion of time, approximately half of my cigar has passed since that phone call. That was my nephew. He's getting married tonight. So MidFi, Mobile Fidelity, has got a turntable. It's called an Ultra Deck. They got a studio deck and they got an Ultra Deck. Now the studio deck, I purposefully passed over that simply because I got a deal. I thought I got a deal on the Ultra Deck. Studio deck's like $1,200, something like that. The Ultra deck's like $2,800, and that's with the Ultra cartridge. I forget what they call their cartridges. They got like 3 cartridges. One cartridge is $4.99. Another cartridge I think is maybe $9.99 or $8.99 or something like that. And the next one's like $1,499. And by the way, those cartridges, I was a little bit nervous. I hadn't heard a lot about their cartridges, and a little bit nervous about that. But man, they sound so good. They really do. But I bought an Ultra Deck, and I'll be up front and tell you how I got it cheap. I paid $1,800 for it. $2,800 turntable. That's $1,000 off. I generally, like I said in a video the other day, I generally get things at a discount, open box, so on and so forth. A lot of things. Now I do buy some brand new stuff. My Anthem is brand new, but I got a deal on it, right? So I get a lot of things open box or whatever, but this thing was refurbished. And generally my mindset about refurbished is okay, they're going to stand behind it, they're giving it a year warranty, or I think it's a 3-year warranty. Whatever the warranty is, it's under warranty. Everything's good to go. Some places on refurbished stuff, they put like 90 days warranty, but this had the same warranty as a brand new model. So I was like, well, the only thing I can lose is time, and time is valuable. And the older I get, turned 50 last week, time is the most valuable thing that I have. And the older I get, the more and more I see that. I could get into that, but all I'm going to say about that is now at 50, you hear people say that time goes by so fast. The older you get, the faster it gets. When I wake up on Monday morning to go to work at 2:30 in the morning, the next thing I know, man, is I wake up and it's Friday morning. It goes by so fast now. So when somebody tells me anything that I think is going to waste my time, I'm getting to where I'm very vigilant and I guard my time. The whole time I've had it, and as of Wednesday, I had it 91 days. You've got 60 days to return it, no questions asked. And I actually called them with a similar problem that you're seeing, but not nearly as bad. I called them within like a month. And I was like, this thing just ain't right, and I can't get it right, and I need some help. Guy gets on the phone with me. His name's Robert. He's a fantastic young man, by the way. I don't know how old he is. He sounds like he's 20, but he may be 30 or something like that. But he sounds young. Great guy. Got plenty of experience. All he does all day long is take calls for Mobile Fidelity on support on various products that they have. But he knows the product real well. I let it die. Hey man, gotta light it, gotta get it relit. So he knows the product real well, and he run me through some things. This is the previous situation about 60 days ago. I did that wrong, by the way. I forgot to do it right. But anyhow, relighting is what I'm talking about. So Robert runs me through some things, and we get it ironed out, man. That turntable sounds so good, and it's so much better than my Techniques SLB2. So much better. And that Techniques had a Grado Black cartridge on it, which it's the baseline Grado. It's as cheap as you can get. It's $100. It was definitely much better than that Grado and that Techniques. There were some issues, and Robert helped me iron those issues out. I tried to call him back. I say he ironed it out. There were still a couple wrinkles. I've not trusted it at all. I've not had trust for that turntable. I said in my I'm Coming Back video, I think it was episode maybe 4, I think I said something to the effect of that it's been a welcome addition to the listening room. And it has. It's been a very nice addition, welcomed addition to the listening room. While diagnosing this, Robert kind of reached the end of the line on his knowledge, and he said, look, I'm going to have to kick this up. My supervisor's been with us for 30 years plus, like 32 years, and I want to get him involved. I was like, fine, fantastic. More heads on this, more eyeballs, more ears, more brains, more experience. Experience pays. I'm telling you, man. That guy got on there, asked me some questions that Robert hadn't even thought about asking me. And he said, I want you to send me some photos. Send me a photo of the cartridge. And these iPhones, I got an iPhone 14. That's what's doing this video right now, iPhone 14 Plus. And it does an amazing job with photos, but it's not like your eyeball. It just is not. And I was very doubtful that I was going to be able to get the photography quality that he needed, and I was able to. So anyway, this was Thursday. No, this was Wednesday afternoon. I got off work at like 12:30. I had a light day, so I got off work at like 12:30, come home, and man, I didn't even swap my clothes. Usually I change out my clothes and everything, and man, I didn't even do that. I got on the phone with Robert and started trying to get this diagnosed. And we hit the brick wall. This guy gets on there, and they want me to send these photos. So I send the photos. And he told me, he said, look, we're going to try to get back to you as soon as possible. He said it's like, 1 o'clock Central Time. They're in Chicago. But if we don't get to this now, he said, both Robert and I are off for like the next 2 days, and then thus the weekend. So they got some kind of meeting they're going to, a conference, or both of them taking long weekends. I don't know, but they're not going to be there, and they're not working on my problem. So that's where I'm at. I'm in limbo. They're not working on my problem. So it is what it is right now. I'm sitting here watching what's going on. My nephew's going to pull up here in a few minutes. He said any minute, but I haven't seen him. And I'm hearing something out there. It just sounds, he's got a diesel pickup like I do. That don't sound like a diesel pickup. I don't know what that is, but it sounds like something. Industrial. I live on Main Street, so what is that? I may edit this out. Sorry to waste your time, but the curiosity's killing this cat. The heck? So in any case, I'm so freaked out about this thing. I'll be real honest with you. I'll tell you what I want to do. I got a lot. To me, $1,800 is a lot of money. That's my nephew. And he's driving a truck, a big truck, 18-wheeler. Tell you this real quick. $1,800 is a hell of a lot of money to me. If you'd have told me 2 years ago I was going to spend $1,800 on a turntable, I would have laughed at you. Anyway, he's getting ready to walk up. I'll be back. So, round 3. Let's do this. Man, I've had a haircut, a change of clothes, and Cullen came over, my nephew, and we talked about this wedding deal, and we had a good conversation, of course. Young man is getting married tonight. His dad died about 3 years ago, died very young, 53 or something like that. And my dad's 82, he's starting the dementia deal, and really and truly, I'm not trying to say I'm like his daddy, but I'm the only one that he can, ask them daddy questions to, because my daddy just about raised him, but he can't ask them daddy questions to my daddy anymore. So anyway, we're back at it. I reviewed the video and I saw where I left off. I'm going to light another one. This is an Alec Bradley Nika Puro, and it's a pretty good little cigar. Got the haircut. So $1,800 is where we left off. It's a hell of a lot of money to me. Anyway, I'm sitting here weighing my options out. I want them to take it back. The return window is 60 days. I'm at 92. But we got a little bit of a track record of some issues. So it's not like, and I brought up returning it that first time. I was like, hey, if this goes south, I'll go ahead and tell you I want to trade in and do something different. And at that point in time, I could have traded in, and I want the Ultra deck to work. I like the way it looks. I like the way it operates. The Q lever and all that jazz is so fluid and easy until it's not. As you saw, the Q lever slams and bounce. it bounces when you're further in on the album. Of course, I don't really cue a whole lot as far as individual tracks. Golly, talking too much, right? Shouldn't be doing both, but I am. So the whole cue arm thing is, or cue thing, you know, little cue lever, and you got this deal that the tone arm slides down if you're wanting to cue up a song further into the album. And that whole thing is just bunk. Saw a video, I'll try to link it if I can remember. Saw a video where this guy was basically showing the same symptoms, but it was on that Fender deck that MidFi puts out, that thing that looks like a Fender guitar. It's beautiful, but I thought it was kind of gimmicky. I didn't want it, even though it was more money than the one I've got. So I didn't want that, but it's made of the same guts. It's just got a lacquer finished, you know, wood top plinth. And I don't know if they're gonna let me, but I would like, as much as I want that Ultra deck to work, I want them to trade me out and let me get into a VPI. Those VPIs are nice. I would have to put some money with it, of course. But at this juncture, I don't know what else to do. You know, I'm just listening off digital, off Qobuz and FLAC, DSD. So frustrating, man. And, you know, I'm not trying to put them in a pickle. I want them to make money, but I want them to be right, too. I've spent a lot of money with them since November. I don't know how many albums I bought. I bought a lot of money in RCAs and AudioQuest RCAs and XLRs. I spent a lot of money in that. I'll get into how much money I spent on all that stuff on cables. And they were on closeout too, but still, I saved anywhere from 45 to 61% on my cables, but still they were very expensive. They're already got exacerbated and jacked up prices anyway. So when you get half off the already jacked up price, you're getting a deal, but you're still paying through the nose. So I spent a lot of money. I spent a bunch of money on albums. What did I tell you? I spent $1,800 on albums. I figured out that that's wrong. That's undershooting it by $1,000 at least since November. So, you know, there was a little bit of, I'm a knee-jerky guy, and there was a little bit of knee-jerk in me that wanted, screw this, man, I need to deal with FLAC and DSD. I need to go digital. I'm not going to do that either. I'm not going to get chased out of this. I got too much money in vinyl. I could sell it, but as you know, you don't get your monies. Even if it's a sealed copy, you'll never get your money out of it. You never will. It's not an investment, you know. Somebody made the comment on episode 5 about vinyl hell. I think it's episode 5 about vinyl hell, and they were like, you know, something about he bought cheap records because he figured he could get his money out of it, was the gist of what that was. But I've never figured that I could get my money out of anything, any of this. And I think anybody that thinks that they can get their money out of this is fooling themselves, unless they're buying it super cheap. You know, if you're going to the dollar bin and you just happen to pull out a record that ain't snap, crackle, or popping, you have done good, but you're going to dig and dig and dig. What's your time worth? You know, I've got one out of the dollar bin. It was actually $1.99. I've got one out of the dollar bin that's very good, but it's so rare. It's so rare, guys. So anyway, I don't know what's going to happen. Come Monday, I'm probably going to get a phone call from Music Direct. Music Direct is basically the mothership of, they own MoFi and everything. So I'm going to get a call from Robert and his supervisor, and we'll start from there. But the best case scenario right now is I can get traded out with a VPI, and I have to put probably a couple grand in it to get out. How about that? Woo! Man, I'm telling you, guys, it's an expensive little hobby. And I'm not even in the the hi-fi end of it. I'm a MidFi guy, you know. So anyway, and I'm going to do an episode on the definition of audiophile and the definition of MidFi. Somebody questioned me about my MidFi definition. You know, talking about those UHQRs, $150 record is not MidFi. No, it's not. No, it's not. A little bit like the cheap audio man, Randy. You know, every now and then he's doing $150, $200 speakers and everything. Then all of a sudden he'll go review a $1,000 turntable or a $1,000 amplifier, and everybody, that's not cheap. That's not cheap. Well, what is cheap? What is cheap? I'll guarantee you, a $200 amplifier, a $200 Chinese Class D amplifier is not MidFi. That is lo-fi, unless somebody's just got something wild going on. That is lo-fi, and I don't think it's really pinned down to a price point, but it's a couple criteria, three criteria, and we'll talk about that. You know. So anyhow. Looking forward to seeing the resolution of this. Maybe I can end up with an upgrade. I don't know. I'm very, as you can tell, I got a little anxiety over it. Okay, not a whole lot of anxiety, but I'm a little nervous about what's about to happen. We're going to see how serious they are about customer service, and there was actually, in me working on this thing and trying to get it right and everything, I actually found some damage that was from, it was a refurbished model, so it had a previous owner. And I actually found a piece of the head shell was broke off, and I had never noticed that before, but it was so cleanly broken off. It was actually what you rest your finger in to pick it up with. And I don't know why I never noticed that, but that thing was just clipped right off. So anyhow, we're going to see. But in the meantime, please like and subscribe. Let's see. I'll catch you later.